Yes, guys, it's another episode of Fight Talk Live. It's Danny Glover. It's Base the Kid. You know where it is. How you doing today, man?
Yo, what's going on, people? What's going on? It's the two of us. October may be tapping in a little bit later. She is live on location at the Grand Arrivals for Ben and Eubank, or Eubank and Ben, if you want me to be correct. So, not sure if she's still over there. She's making her way back to the good old Brumtown, but we wish her the safe travels. Yeah, apologies, we're a little bit late, but look, the time has to, we have to talk. We've got several things, obviously, from the weekend. Now we've got a little bit of news from from yesterday and today. So the fight talk will be live, and it will be live. So yeah, Danny, how you feeling?
Yeah, man, all good. Just come back from, well, not just come back, but earlier today I was at the press conference for the Monte Carlo, the Next Gen, and of course the Ghana show with Craig Richards versus Dan Aziz. So that was good. It was a nice day out. So yeah, man, good energy.
Now, when did you get the notification for that show?
What do you mean for the actual show happening, or do you mean like
No, the triple press conference.
I didn't get an email.
Okay.
Only October seemed to have got the email. I just got told, obviously by Craig, because so that's why I went down as part of Team Richards. I didn't go there as media, but I didn't get an email in my inbox anyway. So had um, Craig not said, I would have never known about it.
Okay. All right. Just making sure I understand where we sit in the hierarchy these days. It's all right. It's all right. No worries.
Well, I had
But
an
yeah.
interesting convo. I had a convo with somebody in the powers, and they assured me that things will change. So we'll see. But yeah, he said he liked the way I stuck it on him. Um, but
Pause.
yeah. Oh yeah. Homeless, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. But yeah. So do you know what? Let's talk about for Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox, you didn't get notification because we literally uploaded this thing about 15 minutes ago. So
Oh,
apologies.
sorry. Big up Jam Down 187. I met him. He came to my workplace. Or was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, and he introduced himself. So yeah, I met him. So that
I've
that
met Jam Down.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
peoples. All right. Well, look, let's I guess the best thing, let's start with talking about where you were, obviously at that triple press conference. How did you how'd you find it? Talk to us about sort of some of the fights that was there. Obviously, not everyone was there. Some people were international training, doing whatnot. But yeah, how did you find it? And then finish off with the I guess the interactions between Mr. Richards and Mr. Aziz.
Yeah, the press conference was. Well, I remember I've been to a double presser before. This is the first time I've been to one which is a triple. So I remember the people was mainly doing interviews before it kicked off. Johnny Fisher, very respectful. Giorgio Visioli, they're quite pleasant. A lot, as you said, a lot of the fighters wasn't there. I did hope and pray, but I did kind of half know that the fight I did really want to see, the fighters I really did want to see there in Elif Nur Turhan and Beatrice Ferreira, they wasn't there. They're both obviously coming internationally, so that would have been good to see. But yeah, sort of young prospects there. So yeah, it was a decent little presser. Obviously, I don't know how well promoted it was because I didn't know about it. I didn't even know about it, let alone it's going to be a triple. And then, but I think that I do feel that the Craig and Aziz one, it kind of lifted the energy in the room because other than that, it was quite. I felt the other ones was quite mundane and just going through the routines and just speaking, Eddie asking them questions and them just doing the whole I'm so happy and I'm going to do my best and it's see for an explosive night and blah blah blah. Whereas This one, Dan Aziz, and that, it was obviously there was no. You're never going to get tables and chairs thrown because everyone knows each other. But I feel that there's a lot of pride, and I think a good, and I feel the need to put a good representation on for African boxing. It's a new thing that's happening for Matchroom in the continent. You've got 258 behind it, Legacy Rise, um, and so yeah, and Matchroom of course behind it. So it's gonna be an epic one, I do believe. So yeah, we had some the president John Mahama, his nephews was a part of it. You had the main guy of 258, one of the top guys, Ade, up there speaking. And I think it's very fitting. You've got Nigeria, Dan Aziz, Jamaica with Craig Richards, and they're fighting in the motherland in a neutral ground of Ghana. Very cultural. We've had historical, legendary world champions in Azuma Nelson, Ike Quartey, Joshua Clottey, even more recently guys like Isaac Dogbo and Richard Comey of Ghana, who are Ghanaians as well, as world champions. So it's got a rich history of boxing, and I think they're looking for the next talent. And I think why not head to the African continent? They've gone to the Asian continent, Arab. Obviously, we know Europe's already there. The what to call it? The Oceania markets opened up with the Australian, New Zealand boxing, and we've seen a lot of Samoans coming through, putting in some good work as well. So yeah, Africa was the only next step way forward, I believe.
Okay. And before I even ask my next question, Star Fox has put a very, very important question up here. Will we get a cousin versus cousin face-off featuring Danny and Dapo? What are we saying?
Well, I was hoping he was going to be there today. He wasn't there. Mac was there, who's like Dan's best friend. For those who don't know, he's the one anywhere you see Dan Aziz, you'll see him. He's got the gold tooth. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I'm up for doing that with Dapo in the motherland of Ghana. And the loser can go in Elmina Castle because it's the point of no return then.
Hmm. And Jam Down says it's the Plantin versus Tain battle. So Craig has he has to win for the tin, as Jam Down is saying here.
Well, yeah, Craig's gonna do the thing. It's gonna be tin. It's gonna be rice and peas. So yeah, we got this.
Jam Down says tin must win. He said must win. So put some stank on it. All right. Well, look. All right, so I've got a question for you with regards to that card now. Do you think? Actually, I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of phrase this. All right. So when you kind of look at the scenario and how everything's kind of come together, what other alternatives or what other options were there that both guys had, or do you believe that it was always kind of just going to be a collision course to each other, like there was no other options apart from that?
As of now, I believe the only option viable of a man who's willing to take the fight was Dan Aziz, because Craig had offered out multiple people, and they opted to go left and right and things like that. I've made no bones in the past. I've mentioned names, guys like Lyndon Arthur. I've even gone up to Lyndon and asked him when we were having that fight. He said he had a back injury. Weeks later, he then signed up to fight Anthony Yard for the third time. Then tried to get it again. Then he's fought Brad Raya. Well done to him. He's got the European title. He's a former IBO champion, Commonwealth champion. So accolades wise, what can you say if he then has a rebuttal? But he has gone around the houses with it. Other fighters we've tried to get to no fruition. So Dan Aziz got called up, and he was up for it, and he took fight. I don't know Dan's options, so I can't speak on that behalf. But I think deep down, myself, yourself, and most people locally knew that one day these guys would have to dance. I think they both knew deep down they'd have to dance. They have sparred many rounds together back in the day, so they know each other very well inside the ring and outside the ropes and stuff. So yeah, I think I think as of now, remember a lot of light heavyweights have got booked up. We saw how many light heavyweights on the card just a couple of weeks ago. Every week there's light heavyweights being matched up and fighting. Even we just saw an announcement with the Magnificent Seven. We've got another interesting light heavyweight matchup on there. So for now, when you're talking about options, Craig and Dan, I think they was the right people to come together, and the winner elevates on. I think that, a pathway. The winner can try and hope to get the winner of Connor Wallace versus the German guy. What's his name again? The German guy who's basically the mandatory.
Which German?
The German guy who's in line for the IBF.
Oh, you mean Michael Eifert?
Yeah, the winner hopefully can get the winner of Michael Eifert versus Connor Wallace. Yeah, so yeah, I think that would be a good avenue for the winner. That's what I believe, and obviously the winner being Craig, in my strong opinion.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So, and when do you guys go out there to when do you lot go out there for I don't know, for the press, not the press conference, sorry, for that fight week and all that? Are you going out on the week? Going out the week before, a couple of weeks before that? What's happening?
No, on the fight week, I believe Craig will be going out a couple of days before me. I've just got my flights sorted out. I've got that through today, so I'll be going out on fight week I'll be there on the Tuesday. I think Craig will be going out a few days before me, but yeah, and I know that John Ryder's got some fighters on that week or something, so he won't be out there for this one. But obviously Tony will be there. I'll be there, and Selks. So yeah, and we've got the Nigeria card the day before.
Friday.
Yeah, the day before. So yeah,
And you got the Indigo 2 card, which obviously John Ryder will be out on the Wednesday, on the 17th.
yes.
So it's a pretty full weekend. Well, week, I should say. But okay. So of the other fights or the other cards that were being spoken about at the press conference, anything else kind of take your fancy?
Well, but some fighters. It was good to see the undercard. Certain fighters like Sadama Amma. I'll give you like some little inside scoop here that we're going to get Freezy on the undercard as well. So that's going to be a good addition. Freezy McBones, who's obviously Ghanaian and a big character. And yeah, I'm pressing to have Rita Marley come to the fight. Good representation. She lives out in Ghana, so it'd be great to have Rita Marley in attendance, showing support for the diasporan culture, and of course a good representation for Jamaica, especially at this time. I think it'll be a very good look. But I think I think it's a good thing that we're all collaborating. Pan Africanism, globally, us diasporans are, uniting and doing good business, and conducting ourselves very professionally and in a demure way. So I'm very happy for both gentlemen and everyone involved. And
Okay.
also, I see a rumor going around. I don't know if it is true. People can't confirm or deny, blah. But they're saying that Anthony Joshua could possibly be featuring on the undercard on the 20th.
8 rounder.
Yeah, which that would be really good. Craig Richards has Anthony Joshua on his undercard. Imagine.
Careful. Okay. Well, so that was obviously that presser. Then that leads us nicely into grand arrivals. Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. I think October was happy to see some of her friends again, Victory Atpor being one of them, maybe Tommy Walsh. Um, I mean, what did you make of? I guess that is, the whole Grand Arrivals thing is very much a Riyadh and a Vegas type thing. Was it something that you felt added anything to this event?
Um, no, I think so because I think for this week, I think it was needed to start getting the crowds blood pulses, pumping a bit because it wasn't it. It's been a bit quiet as of say yesterday, wasn't it? No one was really talking about it Sunday or Monday, so I think it was a good lead into this week to get it really kick-started. We've seen clips of Chris Eubank Jr. announcing he's going to, be a father, and his dad really happy, Rastafari and stuff, and he's having twins. And it's funny that actually we're talking about Chris Eubank Jr. and Ghana because his missus is Ghanaian, so yeah, that's going to be you know what I mean. So it's going to be so that's cool to know. But yeah, I think it does help the grand arrivals just to boost up the profile of the because some people they get to about a Thursday and go, oh, are they fighting this week? I didn't know. So I think it does help that razzmatazz, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, right? I feel like if people ain't already been um hyped or anticipating the fight before that, the Grand Arrivals ain't really there, none. I'm gonna be real, because they don't do anything on the Grand Arrivals. It's not like if it was like, oh, they had matches there, or the Grand Arrivals is where you had like they're coming together, like they ain't met each other for like the last 2-3 months. Now they're at that last point, all the calories, or no more calories in the system, cutting weight first time, and then you put them straight face to face just then and there as they walk out. Then maybe you might get a couple pushes, push in the pool, a slap in a box, and just maybe ramp things up in that sense. But everyone just coming out and oh, and their opponent, and and this person, and that person, and that person. I'm just like, no one. I don't think anyone really cares about that. Like I said, if you're
Mm,
hyped for the fight, you're hyped for the fight. If you're not hyped for the fight, I don't think that does anything for you personally. I get it. This thing to kind of just make the week last a little bit longer, but yeah, for me, I'd much rather them do something else a bit more creative in that time frame, or have the grand arrivals be like I don't know, like maybe a challenge thing, or something. It's where or I don't know. I'd have to think about what alternatives there would be. I just feel like it's a bit of a wasted moment, and it just feels like it's time that you could quite easily like be putting into something else in your day, rather than watch them walk down and then have a couple words and then go about their business again. There's just no. I just don't feel there's any real source to it. The
mm,
biggest part of it, as you said, was probably them speaking about Chris Eubank Jr. and him about to be a father of twins. Congratulations to Chris. Now, I didn't know that, so that was, I will give it, I guess, a bit there that they notified me of that. That's just I haven't been on X for a
Oh, I
little.
knew by that BBC iPlayer. They showed a clip of it yesterday, and Chris posted it on his Instagram today. In
And
talking,
I saw it today. Literally afterwards, as soon as I went onto my Twix, it was actually undefeated. The shout out to them, like they had re-quoted it, so I'm pretty sure it was Travis that did that.
yeah.
But I was, yeah, that's when I kind of saw it. But prior to that, I guess that was the one thing I could say was good at the Grand Arrivals. It allowed me to find out something I didn't actually know at the time. But it also just, now look, this might just be the cynic in me, so I'm gonna ask everyone to apologize for me, or forgive me, I should say, and I'll apologize for what I'm thinking. But how convenient is it that we find out this information the day before the fight or on the fight week. It just feels like it was a. It feels like you're just trying to market that at a time when it doesn't need to be marketed, especially when they asked him about it in the the interview, congratulations, and he's like, yeah, I don't think it's the time to be talking about that. I don't want that. My mindset is not on what's going to be happening in the future. Let's keep it to the fight. So I'm just like, well, then why have it out there in the first place? Talk about it after the fight. I feel like that might endear you more to the public, because remember the last time he had the sort of the public eye, and then all of a sudden it's like he became public enemy number one again afterwards. Maybe because it was the absence or not being around or whatever it possibly is. Straight after the fight, that's when you maybe announce that you're having the twins and stuff, and maybe that way you get to have a wave of emotion and congratulations and well wishes past the fight night. That's
No,
just
the
me.
reason why is because why he's done that clip is because the actual show is on right now. It started at 9 p.m. with it's on BBC iPlayer or something like that. So that everyone would know tonight, anybody, because BBC's putting it out.
If I was him, I would have said then they need to
Delay.
delay it.
Yeah. Well.
Delay it until like put it out Saturday night or Sunday or Sunday or something. That's what I would have asked or suggested. Because if I don't know if that again, maybe he might get a bit of the groundswell beforehand, but I just feel like now a lot of the questions, a lot of the thing is all gonna be around his around this rather than him getting his head in the mode for the fight.
Well, remember
Especially
people doing that to Fabio Wardley at the Justice Hooney one. They was like, "Oh, how's it? You're expecting a baby, and
no, but she was already born then.
no, she was no heavily pregnant. The Justice Hooney fight I'm talking
No,
about.
no, the baby was born. I think the baby was born before then. He was getting into fatherhood during like in that camp. He was trying to navigate fatherhood. It was the fight before when like he would announce obviously he was having a child. But even then, that was the information had already been out for a while. Like I'm saying,
Yeah,
he's just released this information now. Is my
yeah.
point.
No, the woman was heavily pregnant at the Fabio Wardley. So I think the baby was born probably days after that fight, the Hooney fight. To be
I
fair.
thought it was the fight before that, but okay, fair enough. Oh, wait, the fight before? No, sorry, the fight before was Frazier, isn't it? But he had announced it a long time before that. Well, maybe not a long time, but a month or two. So
Yeah.
to me, it's just a little bit different. Whereas this is like it's fight week. It just,
Mm.
but if it's about the show, I maybe I hold my hands up. I didn't know. Obviously, when I saw the clip. I haven't watched the clip, but I saw it did look obviously very stylized, like there was like it was a promo or something. So I thought, okay, um, maybe that's a different scenario. So I can maybe take that. Okay, yeah, it's because it's coming out on this date or whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, it just seems awfully convenient, and that might just be the cynic in me
Mm.
at this point in time.
But one thing I will say as well, Grand Arrivals, I don't think it's for people like me and you. I think it's for to get the casuals notified, because as I said, a lot of them will come up to us and go, "Oh, is there boxing on this weekend?" Oh, and then we'll mention it. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know it was on this weekend. I thought it was maybe in a few weeks' time or da 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 da. So this kind of just highlights and notifies the proper casuals as to, yes, the fight is this Saturday at this time, and they will still be messaging us. Oh, what time's the main event? It gets so jarring. It's like, come on, you know what time the main event is by now, surely. But they still message you, what time's the main event? Or ring me when they're about to walk out. Do you think I've got time to think about you? I know you get this as well, based.
I'll be honest, I don't.
Oh,
I,
you're
I
lucky then.
actually don't.
Oh, you're lucky then. Where's a
Yeah,
me
I think my
problem?
people know better than that.
Oh, well, yeah, my lot don't.
Although to be fair, we are in some of the same groups, and there are people that have very similar. Oh, anyone got a place I could watch it?
If
Yeah,
I've got a link. A big man like you. But yeah, yeah, man, that's funny.
well, no, look, okay, so One thing though, with this Grand Arrivals, what did you think of? I guess both guys, physically, like their shape, the way that they sort of coming in. Like neither guy, obviously, I know they haven't got to that final weight making process just yet, but neither guy actually seems quite drawn yet, which is a plus. Of Connor probably wouldn't be as such because he's obviously naturally smaller, but Chris looked quite good. Obviously, the cheeks were starting to protrude a little bit, so you could see okay, he's maybe starting the cut, but he didn't look bad in that sense. I don't know what was you thinking?
Well, I saw when they did a face off earlier today or yesterday, something like that. And yeah, you could see, and Conor Ben said, "Oh yeah, the cheeks starting to show a bit." He's like, "Yeah, we're doing things little bit different this time." He's like, "Yeah, I just want something in me. I just want you to miss by just a pound. Yeah, I'd have another Rolls Royce." And he goes, "No, no, no. You're only getting one of those. Only one." So I think he is, being a bit more cautious with the weight, so taking it down earlier from now. Plus, that way he can really rehydrate rather than just do a mad crash at the end, and then it's actually harder to put weight on when you hold it for a while and then you allow yourself your diaphragm and stuff like that to expand properly by rehydrating. You get to look you get to what you call it, put on weight a lot more. Conor Ben, I know he is bulking up because I remember at the start of his camp he was under. He was like a 152, and so he was like, "Yeah, time to eat some bricks" and all that type of stuff. I remember seeing it on Snapchat. Um, so yeah, he's actually bulking up, so he's never going to really look drawn. But yeah, he come in looking like John Travolta in that outfit today, though. So interesting choice of he was ready for London Fashion Week.
On the undercard, were there anyone? Does anyone stand out that or stood out to you that oh okay, I definitely want to watch your fight. Maybe I wasn't that interested in it before, but based on just the energy that you're coming with, I'm interested now.
Um, well, there's two fights I'm interested in watching because I think stylistically wise and matchup wise, I think is a good fight is Sam Gilly versus Ishmael Davis. I think that's going to be a good fight. I predict. Um, and then also I'm looking forward to seeing the engine Ekal Essuman versus Jack Catterall. I know Jack Catterall gets a lot of stick, but I think style wise because Ekal brings the heat so much, Jack will be forced to actually be in an exciting, engaging fight one way or another. He's either gonna, put up or shut up shop. So I like this fight, and I liked the some of the pictures. I don't know if you saw the thing where they made them draw little characters or something of the opponent. That was quite funny when I saw it. I'll send you it afterwards. There's some
Okay.
interesting photos they did of each other, but yeah, that was so I'm looking forward to that fight as well. What about
I got
yourself?
the fight that I'm actually most looking forward to is Adam Azim and Kurt Scooby because I've seen a lot of Scooby. I watched the OTX cards that he's made a name for himself on. He's a fun fighter, and initially the fight was supposed to be up at 147, but it looks like it's now been put back down to a 140 bout, or maybe it might be slightly over, as a slight catch weight, like maybe 141 or 142. But that's a fight I'm really sort of looking forward to. I mean, look, Gillian Davis, I think will be a good fight. Um, I'm expecting action in that one. Um, and if Ishmael Davis can stop with the stupid switching every second for no reason, should have a lot of success in that fight. Um, but that might just be it could be a nervous thing. It could be something that's just so hardwired into him now he can't help himself. Um, I, funnily enough, the fight that I'm least interested in of the bigger fights, because obviously they got little undercard fights in there, like the little prelims and whatnot. But
Mm.
the fight I'm least interested in is Welsh and Riakporhe. But for some reason, I feel that that fight is just going to give me something to remember.
Yes, like on paper, because the names and Rich has been at world level, world title shot, and Welsh hasn't really uh, fought anyone, too much of note. A lot of people are not really feeling the fight. I know October's not happy with the fight. Me and her have had our back and forth. Even today when we was having lunch with Regan, so big up Regan, Regan the Slayer.
Man, that
She
Slaymaker.
Yeah, Slaymaker. So yeah, she was voicing it again, and he said that he actually thinks it's a good fight. So and that was no prompting from me, and that's when we got into that section. But yeah, I just think that this is going to be a better fight than people uh are maybe feeling it's going to be. Remember, Richard, Tommy's coming from good stock, good pedigree. Um, and I think that he ain't going to go over just because he takes one right hand from Richard. So I think this will be actually one of those, what do they call it, a sleeper on the card.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but what? By the way, I wanted to know. Yeah. So, what is this Scooby guy like? Because I've never actually seen him fight. And how do you
Um,
think he's going to fare against Adam Zine?
he's got a lot more power than Adam. Um, and I think he campaigned or usually campaigns slightly heavier. Um, he's not the best mover, but he always finds himself in good positions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he can get to the target. He can close the distance quicker than you'd think he would, even though he's not like the fastest. He's got good combinations. He's got quite good timing. Um, but he can be a bit lazy with the defense, especially if he's actually in attack mode and he's actually phasing an attack. There are opportunities to counter, and where Adam Azim will likely have the speed, um, that will probably be that will definitely be something that he can take advantage of. But um, this is I think this fight's probably more of a dangerous fight for him than the Abdullarius fight because yeah, this guy Scooby is naturally bigger, much more aggressive, and Abdullayev will just try and kind of box with you. He'll try and jab for jab, maybe throw a right hand, to sort of set something else up. Whereas Scooby he'll get on the inside. He'll be gritty. He'll be rough and rugged. And I don't know if Azim's got sort of got that. Has got the same kind of he's got the speed, he's got toughness, but maybe he doesn't have the nastiness that he might need for this fight, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Looking forward to that one quite a bit. Um, all right, well look, that's the start of the fight week. So um, let's talk about obviously on the weekend, Virgil Ortiz. Masterful 2 round job on Erickson Lubin. Now, admittedly, I got it wrong in the sense that I thought the fight would go points. Yeah, Ortiz said I ain't getting paid for no overtime. I want a cheeseburger. Like let's just get this over with. And then Lubin, I don't know if he was looking intimidated or scared or timid, but he did not show up. Well, to be fair, he started the first round okay, but then he must have got hit with something that just said to his brain, we don't like that. Like we can't take that again. And yeah, from there it was just sitting on the ropes, trying to. I don't know if he was trying to pot shot, pick shots out of the side, or hoping maybe that Virgil might, sort of, I guess, drain the battery a bit sooner than normal. But a man like Lubin, unfortunately, just doesn't have the punch resistance for that. And part of that, I think, could be he's been at 154 too long. Maybe after that first Charlo defeat, maybe he should have moved up to 160 from then. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a good win for Virgil Ortiz. Um, we'll talk about the afterwards shenanigans afterwards, but yeah, it was a good win for him too. two rounds, solid work, no damage. So there's no reason for you to not be back out in another 3.5, 4 months maximum, in my opinion. But yeah, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first, some of the things I will mention that you had Virgil Ortiz in the changing room. Errol Spence went in there to wish him luck and stuff like that. And the first round, nothing was really going on of note. But then in the second round, Ortiz he landed a left hook through the guard of Erickson Lubin. Lubin tried like fired back, but then he decided to high guard on the rope and try and do. Yeah, you was yeah, but a lot of people wasn't sure what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to rope a dope, but I don't think his defensive skills, slipping and sliding, was up to scratch. Um, and that's what landed him in huge trouble because whilst he was trying to do this kind of rope a dope thing, Ortiz hit him with the triple G shot over like the hook over the top, and then slammed in two more GGG shots, and then pulled the old Lomachenko move, pulled the glove down, and then slammed in, whipped in a right hook in there, which dazed him. And then he followed up with two left hooks, and yeah, Lubin was out on his feet, and but it was it looked like the lights were on, but no one's home, and the ref jumped in at the right time because he was gone, he was proper gone. To where even Robert Garcia had to get a stall for him at the end. So yeah, and it was all she wrote.
Yeah, that's definitely one that we're not calling a premature stoppage. That was most definitely stopped at just the right time.
Yeah.
Um,
And even
because
Boots was impressed. I see him smiling as soon as they pan straight to him, and he's there smiling, and he rated it.
yeah, I mean, I respect him and obviously Eddie for going over there, but it almost feels like it was wasted airfare because I didn't obviously sell this to you guys. Well, actually, I haven't said it to you guys in the group. I don't think, but I've made mention on numerous occasions, especially on videos, so people can fact check everything I'm saying here. Like Oscar De La Hoya does not make fights that people want to see. He puts on good fights at times, like fights where you're like, oh, okay, I wasn't really expecting that, but kind of cool. But he doesn't like working with other promoters, especially Eddie Hearn, for whatever reason that is. Maybe it's just the rivalry on the zone, or but anytime that someone talks about a fight is always, oh look, yes, I was a fighter, and I praise all my life on the best fighting the best, and you want to see the fights, you want to see the big fights, but then he never actually puts on the big fights. um it's very, very rare, and the only time he actually does put on the big fights is, number one, if he owns both guys. Number two, he sees it as like a passing of the torch kind of scenario. Or number three, he's basically it's a Canelo situation. Because he'll put his guys in there against Canelo because it's always going to be a massive payday and he gets his cut and percentage out of it. If he's got both of the people, well, he knows, okay, well, I'll keep it. I'll give you the I can sort of wiggle the scenario to suit me and how I want it to be with whoever wins. Or like maybe if he sometimes gets forced into making a fight by like Turkey, but even then you'll see certain times he's very much, he'll try and do whatever he can to slip and dodge, and it's just weird because um, obviously Eddie Hearn and Jaron Ennis made a big thing about we're going to the fight, and we're going to call him out after the fight, and that's the fight that we want next. There's according to Eddie, like Ennis has signed an agreement with them saying he will that Ortiz will be one of the fights, and the money that they would offer him for that fight, and he's accepted it, and he signed for it. So they're just waiting on the Ortiz side now. If it was me, if I was the zone, I would be like, okay, so what are you guys saying? He's coming to the fight. Like, have we got a rough deal in place? Like, what do we need to get this over the line? Because this is what we kind of need to happen next. I can't see why you as the broadcaster, especially in a moment where you got people upset because of the ultimate tier and what a lot of people are calling price gouging, especially in the States. Over here but over there it's a madness. But all of that now, and then you can't even give them confirmation of what a lot of people are claiming to be like the biggest fight. If I was the zone, I would fully be on the tip of, yo, like, no, I don't care what you guys are saying about that. There's no difficulty here. Make the fight. Like, we're not sanctioning any other bout for either of you apart from this one, and you're under contract. So it's either this you have this fight or you don't fight at all. Like, you have to. I'm pretty sure you can do something along those lines. I know that they have laws like restriction of trade or whatnot, but it's like, no, that's we're not restricting your trade, but we're as your quote unquote boss, like this is where we're telling you we need this to go. And I don't know. To me, it just feels like there's a lot of talk on their side about this and that they, oh, it's difficult, or well, we want this number, we want to be the A side, or it's not going to happen. It's just like, I know that there was, they said, oh, Boots rejected a fight at some point because he wanted to stay at 147 and become undisputed. But I also know that there was a situation, or was told there was a situation where Ortiz was offered the fight before, and him and his team declined it. So it's like both guys could be as bad as each other in that sense, but at the end of the day, trying to skirt around each other is not going to get you the money that you guys are after. Like, at the minute, this is the fight to make, and the only way it could possibly be bigger is if you're both fighting the other champions in the division to get all their belts, so that you can then make an undisputed fight between the two of you, possibly two fighters with undefeated records at the same time as well. But outside of that, yeah, it just seems to be a bit of a nonsense.
Yeah, so I know what you mean because remember I think we spoke on X when you wrote something and I said, well, Oscar did say, he was a fighter who fought the best and he wants to see his fighters fight the best. I love the the invitation. That was
It's
actually
for the
great.
fans.
Yeah. So yeah, that was actually on point. But it was interesting that Oscar did say, "Oh, I'm surprised they showed up." It's like, "Ooh, you did say pleasantly surprised. You sound more like you wasn't happy that they now pulled up." It kind of reminded me a bit of like when Joshua Boatsy pulled up at Anthony Yard's fight and said like, "Yeah, well, what's up? Like, we're doing this or what?" And the thing is, I can't even fault Virgil because Virgil's definitely on it. He's definitely on fighting. Like, you heard the back and forth from Virgil. Looks like a guy he ain't trying to, he's on rocking. But is his handlers, i.e., Oscar De La Hoya and whoever's behind him, who are starling brawling? Unfortunately, I'm hearing talks of it's got to be 10 mil each. It's like, mate, you guys ain't
Oh, not
generating.
10 mil each, just 10 mil for Virgil.
Well, 10 for Virgil. Well, good grief. It's like, you're not, if what you're going to do, put it on pay per view. How many pay per views can you sell with Virgil? You haven't, has he proven to be a pay per view star, let alone 10 mil worth of pay per view? This is serious bread we're talking about. Um, it's not that type of fight. It'd even be like a non-title fight, really. But like the IBO on the line, and then it's not like the proper version. But even so, they're not at that stage where they can command them kind of wages. With the 147 fight where he said about Virgil, I'll let him off on that one because I probably wouldn't have. I think he would have been handicapped down there because we know he end up in hospital just trying to make the weight. So I think it's even better that they have waited till they're both 154 guys anyway. So it's going to be none of this excuse type of stuff afterwards, at least. The only thing I'm glad that Boots Ennis pulled up on him. The only thing it is annoying that he kept saying during it. I don't think he's the greatest talker when it comes to back and forth trash talking. So when Ortiz is talking about, yeah, let's get this fight. Jaron kept doing that whole silly, yeah, let's make this money. Let's make this money. It's like, Stop talking about the money. Talk about the fight, man. Like you got to get into fight mode. Forget all the bling bling. Take your hoodie off. Take the sunglasses off. Let's get serious, man. But I think that's probably why he gets his dad to do the talking. Some people just are not good talkers. Um, but yeah, you have to say that Ortiz's win over Lubin does outshine the Jaron win over Lima because if you put Lubin versus Lima, I would predict Lubin to win that fight. So he's got the win of the two. So yeah, man, it's just Oscar's just got to get his act together and stop holding Ortiz back because it's a fight I definitely want to see.
I hear it. I hear it. Okay. Any I don't know if how much of the card you watched, if any of it. Was there anything on the undercard that maybe you saw? Okay, yeah, it's a cool one. I like that. Let me keep an eye on this person.
Yeah, a few actually. Remember last week we got I got a bit confused with the names, but I did actually get to check out this Amari Jones, who was on the card, 15-0, 13 knockouts, middleweight, born in Oakland, lives in Las Vegas now, 23 years old, who's trained by Virgil Hunter. Hey, hey. Um, and he fought Shady Gamor, who's from Sweden. There was a couple of Swedes on the card actually, but he lives in Pensacola, Florida, and he's trained by Roy Jones. So it was Virgil Hunter versus Roy Jones, corner wise. What's his name? So Amari, he chopped a right over the top to drop Gamor in the second round. When Gamor got up, he chopped in another right hand and then landed a left hook and a right hook to the body simultaneously. As Shady tried to throw a shot, Jones hit him with a right hook at an awkward. There was in an awkward position where he kind of hit him. It was weird. He was facing that way and he hit him with an arching like hook, and then Shady went down, and then the fight was waved off, and that was the aftermath, and the ref waved it off straight away. So that was a good win by Amari Jones. And I can see now because the way he's fighting, he's tall for the weight, slim, but I can see that thing now where Joshua Buatsi keeps trying to chop these shots in. That's a Virgil Hunter thing, but I don't think it suits Buatsi. But this guy, obviously, he's probably trained with Virgil longer, or it probably just suits his style more. So it worked. It definitely worked. So he's the one to watch. I watched the cruiserweight fight of Robin Safari versus Visatra from Sweden. So yeah, sorry, Robin Safari from Visatra in Sweden. He now lives in Las Vegas. I remember when he fought Kovalev, dropped him in the last round, and that was a very laboured performance he had this time round when he beat unbeaten Derek Miller Jr. from Michigan. He had Miller hurt multiple times. Miller only had like 5 weeks notice. He was tired from after round one, and Safari's just doing this jab, hitting him with right hands, wobbling him, and then just walking around following him. It was just a bit annoying that. They were talking about he's meant to get a shot at Zerdo next possibly, and then even the commentators was like, Zerdo's not going to bother fighting him because he's not really shown anything that really warrants him getting a shot at him. So he kind of probably fumbled the bag there, even though he got the win. It was just so unimpressive. I don't think fans will want to pay to see that. Also on the card, David Stevens. I don't know if he's related to Curtis Stevens, but the way he's built, his body shape looked like Curtis Stevens, and he had the same sort of beard. But yeah, he was a muscular powerhouse physique. He fought Fulgham, and he won the. Sorry,
Darius Fulgham.
Yeah, Darius Fulgham. Fulgham won the first 3 rounds, pressing forward with the jab, imposing his shots on Stevens. Stevens landed a good hook and an uppercut, and landed a looping hook in an awkward position on Fulgham. I say in the 4th round, as he tried to back Stevens on the rope. Stevens also landed a good few uppercuts and body shots on the inside. In the 6th round, that rocked Fulgham. I had it 57-57 after round 6. Fulgham landed a big uppercut in round 7, which Stevens ate very well. Stevens then won, in my opinion, 8, 9, and 10, but it got It was awarded as a draw of a fight, and funny enough, the commentators even before the fight started, they all said they all predicted it was going to be a draw, and it ended up being a draw. I thought Stevens probably just nicked it, but the draw wasn't like it weren't nothing to scream about. It was like okay, it was one of them ones. Yeah, it could be a draw and run again. Yeah, that's the ones I watched on the card. Did you manage to see any of those fights?
Yeah, I
Or
watched all of those. I didn't watch them all in their entirety though. There were some where I was kind of skipping in and out, but I did watch all of the fights. Also, Joshua Edwards, I watched that fight. That fight was funny in the sense of the way it ended.
no, but even the first round was funny.
Yeah, well, I thought the fight itself, the part of it that I found hilarious was, um, what was it? Was his name like Vorhiz or something like that? Um,
Uh,
the white guy.
his name was. I'm sure. Oh, his name was Zeno Voris.
That's it. Yeah. So I thought Voris, and I just liked that he was cutting up, and then the referee's calling time, and then every time he's going over the doctor, no, please don't stop this fight, doctor. I'm fine. I'm fine. Look, I just bleed easy.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh. I actually wrote that down. Yeah,
That was hilarious when he's like, no, like, no, I'm good, I'm good. But it's like I don't know if his goal was to maybe try just to soak up a little bit of pressure and hope that that Joshua Edwards tires out and then maybe can come back in that round 4, 5, or 6, um, or even just 5 or 6, or maybe he's looking for just one big punch. I don't know, but he for all the complaining and the protesting he was doing, it's not really like he was doing anything until maybe towards the end of like the third round. And then, yes, even when he said, "Oh, it wasn't the referee, it wasn't us that stopped it, it was the commission." He's like, "No, what they do that for? Like, I'm fine, I'm fine. They should just let me fight." And I can't lie though. I mean, I rate it because he's in there taking a beating, as or as Chris Eubank Jr. would say, "Our ass beating." Pause. But he wanted to, he just wanted to stay in there and take his lumps,
yeah,
or
and he
try
never
to, or
wobbled.
he had the belief that he could possibly win it. I don't know, but I like the look of Joshua Edwards' style in the ring. There are some things that I've noticed that I feel he might need to have to work out of his system. Although, unfortunately, being with Ronnie Shields, I don't think that's going to happen. You know my opinion on Ronnie Shields anyway. Um, and there are some things about Joshua Edwards that are reminding me eerily of Jared Anderson, um,
Ooh.
especially the way that he does the little switch hitting. It looks very, very reminiscent. The way that he does the footwork. There's a few bits that I've just noticed, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. But as a prospect, he's a good good guy. 5-0 now with 4 KOs, I believe it is. 25, so obviously young for a heavyweight, but still on the older side of I guess some of the later crop. But it would be good to see sort of how he finishes off and expands. But yeah, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like what you said when it was funny when he's gone over to the doctor and he's like, "Yeah, no, please don't start the fight. I bleed easy." And that's something you got to clip and put in a collage on YouTube or a boxing reel because yeah, he was never ever wobbled, but he was just out of his depth skill wise, really, and getting outclassed and just getting cut up. So it was like, how if you get any more cuts, how long are you going to be out of the ring anyway? So might as well just save you for another day, really. But yeah, Joshua Edwards did his thing. Um, yeah, against a guy who didn't really have any decent offense or Arsenal to bring out any deficiencies in him. So he'll have to step up the competition in the future. But yeah, the prospect with another win under his belt. So yeah, man.
Yeah, so look, just before we wrap up, I do want to give a very small shout out. Well, not small because it's insignificant, but just because I haven't actually watched the entire thing yet. I saw the highlights, but I do want to go back and watch the GBM, the heist show, like their prize fighter ultimate boxer style show that they did on the Zone. From the highlights, it looked extremely entertaining. I saw some mad knockdowns in those 3 round clashes. So I wanna sort of check that. And big shout out and a big credit to Azzy Azif, who obviously is GBM. He's a small hall promoter, but with I guess a big hall feel. That's how I kind of want to put it. There's no marquee names on his roster, unless maybe Huey Fury might have called one or something in the past. But he's got from every. I don't watch their fight cards religiously, but every time I have watched the GBM show, I've never actually seen a badly contested fight or like a one way mismatch or just something that doesn't click. They always do seem to put on very good, solid, credible fights, even if it's with like unknown opponents that we're not aware of. So I just want to give that shout out to Izzy Azif, and bringing back that format and the 25 grand bonus, the win bonus if you win. Um, yeah, all in all, from what I saw, it looked good. So I just want to big up them guys, and obviously shout out to them for always, even though I've not gone to any of their events yet because they're always in like the north side of England, but they're always sending me correspondence to sort of come to the presses and come to the fight nights and stuff. And one day I definitely will take them up on their answer when I can get an opportunity to do so. But yeah, I definitely just want to big them up and big up that show.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same. Yeah, this one was in Hull, so that's like a real remote part of the northeast of England. I've been to one GBM sports show, which was actually in York Hall. So, and yes, it does have a big hall feel because the way he had done the lights and stuff around, he had the walkway and stuff. So he really does do put the budget in when it comes to jazzing up the decor for the arenas. But and also shout out to James Osborne, the winner of that tournament. He's now 13-1, 3 KOs. But he showed good power in there. He won the first fight against Harris Khan. Probably had the most dullest one out of the quarterfinals because everyone else was getting blasted out, vicious. Then he had Jermaine Brown in the semis, where there was a double knockdown in there, even though he was the only one who got counted. But then he, put stuck it on Jermaine Brown homelessly, and got the victory. Rocked Jermaine a few times, and then in the finals, he knocked out Rizard Lewicki, who probably was the favourite going into that final because he was looking quite sensational with his first quarterfinals fight where he got that big knockout, and then the second fight he looked good as well where he beat Taz, the Taz guy, the big Arab looking guy. I don't know how that brother is 12 stone with legs and torso and arms like that. That's very strange. He's too massive. But yeah, Ozzy caught him first round. Yeah, very good. Very interesting combination he'd used as well to drop him as well. I've never seen that combination from before. With the hook on the Phoenix. That was a great combination by James, as he calls himself, Ozzy Osbourne. But yeah, big ups for that, and well done. And he was doing the baby formula, making a baby's bottle in the changing room afterwards. So he went straight back to daddy mode. No rest for the wicked. Good grief. But big ups. I'm sure that 25 bags will go a long way.
I hear that. I hear it. Well, look, as it's just the two of us, we're coming up to that hour now. We started a little late, so thank you for everyone who is rocking with us. Anything that you wanna just mention or talk about quickly before we sign off?
Yes. Quickly, shout out to my guy Jahan Ingram. He was in a in a bit of a scare. This was it on Sunday night, when he fought on one of those. Oh, I don't even know it. It wasn't. It's not a Misfit show, but that's it. So I think it's one of them pro. I don't know,
Robots.
yeah, no, it weren't MF Pro, but he usually does box on them ones as well. But no,
No,
so
wasn't
yeah,
it
it was
Pro Box?
MF Jewel was the name event. MF Jewel. So I think he does box for the Misfits Pro scene. He's on that, but he's pro still, but because they're proper. But he fought Joseph Rivas, who's 9-1 with 4 knockouts, and in the first round he got caught with an uppercut and then a hook over the top, which rocked him. Then he tried to fight back, got caught with another hook, and his legs really went like he was proper buckling all over the place. Managed to get himself together, hold on, slip and slide, and then turn the tide around. Get clear his head, have a nice little quiet second round. In the third round, turn on the heat, put Rivas on the ropes, unleashed a good assault of body head attack where Rivas wasn't able to fire back, and the ref stepped in and stopped it. But good comeback. Had a crisis and turned the fight around. So shout out to Jahan Ingram for that one, man.
Okay, shout out. Oh, actually, before we there was something I meant to say earlier which I forgot in the moment, but I wanted the guy who was on stage for the Richards and Aziz presser. I think his name was Theo.
Yes.
If he doesn't sound exactly like Joshua Boatsi, I was in my office listening. Obviously, I had the headphones in, and obviously he said, "Yeah, name's Theo," and I'm like, I had to turn around, like, hold on a minute, is Joshua? Is he doing ventriloquist? Like, because he sounded exactly like him, exact same cadence, speech pattern. Everything was exactly the same. And I was looking at him in his face, like, and he looked a little bit like him as well. I don't know if like maybe a cousin or the relative or something, but and I'm like, but hold on, it almost gave me that feeling of, oh, so what are we gonna say that all Ghanaians sound the same? Which can't be true because man like Denzel Bentley don't sound nothing like them, but these two were the spitting, like it was eerie how much alike they sounded, and I just wanted to kind of mention that before we sign out.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, look, people, thank you very much for tuning in. Next week it will be all three of us back. October has pledged that she prefers the Tuesdays to the Sundays, so we will be carrying that on. But obviously, when she's on location, she's hoping to try and get us that good work and some of those some of that good that fight, that live feel, which we was hoping we would be able to get, but it's such as life. It's all good. We will be back then. Danny, if you want to do what you do, or what you like to do, I was going to say what you do well, but it's definitely what you like to do. And we will leave it there.
But I don't like to give him my flowers. But shout out to everyone in the chat. Big up to Aaron Daly, Philip Answer, Jam Down 187, Star Fox, and everyone in the building. Anyone watching on the playback, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, hit the hype button, as it does help with the algorithm as well, and subscribe to all of our respective channels: Base the Kid at the Hardcore Casual, Fight Fan TV Live, October Red Media, Maestro A, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the rest. But until next time, it's Danny Glover, it's Base the Kid, it's Fight Talk Live, and remember, guys, persistence beats resistance. You know where it is.